Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyun La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rechaha Chadash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. I wanted to touch on this article because it kind of reminds me of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, but it says mom 45 kidnapped by Mag's gang before being found deleted and burnt out car as her son 8 fights for his life after attack. Right, so you can see right here in the video somebody got caught it on CCTV, but the circle is at but these guys basically ran into her house and snatched her ass up. And so, you women that are at ease out here, let me just grab that real quick. It can happen at any time. And see, the Lord is no respecter of persons, man. And a lot of women are very prideful. I don't need no man. You're not gonna do shit to me. You know, women get in men's face, man, talking all manner of shit, bro. Like they can really get down with him. Motherfuckers will be 100 pounds, the guy 200 pounds, and she really just in his face. But anyway, this is yeah, that haughty spirit, man. That I want to get Isaiah 32 and 9. We'll jump into some of that article. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip ye and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So, you know, in a nutshell, man, it's time to repent to the Father, Yahweh, in the name of his Son, Yahushai. Those are the true names of the Father and Son. Now, I'm not sure if these are Israelites in this story or if they're Edomites. Could be either or. But, and this happened in Sydney. Okay, but it says she was kidnapped in front of her 2 children by a gang of masked men before her body was found in a burnt out car just an hour later. It didn't take them long to do what they done, man. It says the 45-year-old was dragged from her home late Thursday night by 5 men, one armed with a gun, another with a baseball bat, and there's the burnt out car right there. The chilling abduction unfolded in front of her sons, aged 8 and 15. The younger boy is now fighting for his life after being savagely beaten with a baseball bat during the home invasion. And see, when you see stuff like this, because it didn't say, it just said that the 15-year-old was taken to the hospital for assessment. Right? But the little 8-year-old was beaten, you know what I'm saying? And okay, let's just read on. The younger boy is now fighting for his life after being savagely beaten with a baseball bat during the home invasion. He has been in an induced coma after undergoing emergency surgery. His other brother, the 15-year-old, was also taken to the hospital for assessment. Police were first called to the home around 10:30 p.m. Within an hour, emergency services were battling a car blaze just 10 minutes away. Officials said the body is believed to be that of the kidnapped mom, recovered in the back seat. The superintendent also, although identification at this case is impossible because she was so, you know, shit just burnt out. Hell, we strongly believe the suspect. Unfortunately, the body is that of the 45-year-old woman. He added, the horrendous crime displayed an unheard level of violence. And let me just go to that 2nd Ezra 15. It talks about because there's gonna be some deadly days are coming, man, and people are just walking about like shit not going on, you know. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. and that's gonna become full-fledged. That's gonna be an ongoing thing, like it's gonna be major death toll, man. Like you're gonna see people just fucking laid out flat out, man. It's not gonna be like your damn school shooting, you know what I'm saying, where it may be 5 people, 10 people. No, you're gonna start to see people. The Lord is about to start judging people by the tens of thousands, man. And just think, when you can't call 911 no more, and the way Trump is doing shit, he's crashing this country, man, to the point where that could happen within this month. But overall, what I wanted to say is, the most weak and vulnerable people in this world or society is your elderly. Because your elderly might be sitting there, got a damn shotgun or a pistol or something in his wheelchair, in his hand or something, while he's sitting there. But if you got 5 guys that's busting into the house, you're going to be overtaken. You might be able to get off a shot or 2. That's even with women, because they're next in line to be the most vulnerable, other than the children. You got a lot of elderly women that's just living by themselves. It's plenty of them on my block. I had one just roll up on me the other day. I was sitting here, I was doing a lesson. I actually had to pause the lesson because she was, yelling something out of her car window. Well, she stopped and she was talking to another elderly woman in her car. And so she seen me sitting here on the porch. And, we're within that middle section of, the block club, so to speak. So, the neighbors kind of, have these little meetings and shit like that. But, she pulled up and told me that, somebody was stealing packages, I guess, off the houses, down the street or whatever. And told me to, be alert and to watch out, whatever. But shit, I'm looking like shit, the lady in her 70s, man, you by yourself. The lady across the street, it's like 3 or 4 of them, elderly women, and they very proud, too. When I say proud, damn nose stuck up, barely will speak to you. But then she wanted to stop and tell me about that. I was just like, okay, all right, well, I'll let, whoever know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, because I don't get no packages delivered to my fucking house anyway like that, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to buy something, I'm just going to buy it. I'm not with a bunch of delivery shit. But anyway, it goes on. Let me get verse 16 again. 15. For the sword and their... 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yep, your destruction is close, man. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to regard, the police, the mayor, the governor. Motherfuckers getting on TV and megaphones and talking about how, we're a community, let's stick together. And no, people are not going to be with, people are crazy as hell right now. And most of the block, I'm trying to think, well, it's most of my block is nothing but single black women with kids. That's pretty much it. It's only, matter of fact, the only people that's on, it's 2 couples that's on my block that's elderly as well, but they've been together for a long time, but they're elderly too. But those are like the only homes on my block really where there's a mother and a father actually in the house, or a male and a female. Other than that, it's just a bunch of young single black women. You know what I'm saying? That's just that's just out here doing their thing, man. Motherfucking barbecue grill out, motherfucking loud ass music playing, badass kids with a bunch of bullshit in the yard. Them yards, toys every damn where, paper and potato chip bags and shit everywhere. Motherfucker don't care about nothing. So them the people that live around me in my neighborhood, and that's block to block. I can go block to block to block, man, and it's nothing but so-called single family of so-called black women raising children, man. So when that shit hits the fans, a situation like this right here, it would be nothing for a gang of 3-4 guys that come in and overpower you. Like, what you gonna do? See, all that shit talking gonna go out the window when you don't have that. Not see, people gonna come into a real reverence and fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai when that time happens. See, right now, you can kind of do shit. You can kind of maneuver. You can call 911. But it's gonna come a time where you're not gonna be able to. Right? Okay, so start back up here. It says, officials said the body is believed to be that of the kidnapped mom, right? Superintendent, although, okay, yeah, all right, we got that already. Salakia. So we don't know what the motive is. We don't know too much about the family. The horrific CCTV footage has since emerged, showing the moment the masked gang stormed the woman's home and forcibly bundled her into the vehicle. So this can happen to anybody, man. You know, hey, because it's men, it's grown men that's being snatched up like this, broad ass daylight, man. It says police are combing through the CCTV footage. At least 2 cars were seen pulling up outside the home during the terrifying raid, including a white sedan. Slakia. A neighbor living in the flat behind the family's home said she had no idea what had happened until police arrived on Friday. See, and people not looking out like that. People not paying attention. That's why we let's bring this scripture out right here. Being aware, man, but also just praying too. Oh no, that's not what I want. Slakia. Ephesians 5:15. Being aware, man, knowing your surroundings, because we're living in some very serious times. But pray, man. The scripture says to pray without ceasing. Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. See? Now, I'm not saying that it was this woman's business to know what was going on, but, you know, you do kind of want to, you want to kind of pay attention to, your neighbors a little something, especially if they're newer neighbors, you know what I'm saying? Like, who pulling up. People just do stuff like that generally anyway, kind of want to, kind of check your surroundings, kind of peer out your windows and stuff here and there, just seeing what's up. But, we're praying to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for his protections on a day-to-day basis. That's something that you should pray for daily. Okay, but it says sometimes she's just say hi. And that's just the way that people are now, man. People don't really communicate like that. You don't really know too much about your neighbors these days. People don't want to deal with, I got people right across the street from me, next door to me, and things of that nature. Motherfuckers won't even throw their hand up. They not waving. They're not saying anything to you. They don't want to know anything about you, and it's just that way. I mean, it just is what it is. So when shit comes down to it, and the scriptures talks about 2 is better than 1. 3 is better. I think it's in Ecclesiastes. So it's best to know some people if you can, but if you're on the dolo, overall, hey, look, what's going to happen is if the Lord wants something done to you, it's going to be done to you. It's just nothing you can do about that. But we pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for mercy, man. But it's going to be a lot of fearful things going on, man, for, single women like this in these end days, man. We're seeing a lot of horrendous shit being done already. She says they have 2 boys. Her kids are always inside. They do not play with my girls. I feel sad for her and her children. The woman's husband was on business at the time of the attack and has since returned to be by his son's hospital bedside. So who knows? You never know. He could have knew something about it. He could have had something done. Hell, maybe he found out that the 8-year-old wasn't his. Like, beat the shit out of him with that bat and burn her ass up. The 15-year-old, don't worry about it. That's really my son. You just never know, man. It's a lot of wickedness going on like that. Because women have been doing some really wicked shit, man, when it comes to these children. It says investigators have dusted the house for fingerprints and crime scene remains in place. The superintendent, the community, the horror attack appears to be targeted. We don't know what the motive is. Yep, The 2 children are our main focus, their welfare, all that good stuff. A neighbor across the street from the burning car said he heard a loud bang. Okay, all that good stuff. Okay, and as you can see, yeah, that car burnt the fuck out, bro. So it's going to be hard for them to really find evidence. And I don't see them. Yeah. Them cameras, though. Them cameras should get down, if anything. But, hey, overall, man, Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So remember that. You want to be on point, man. But again, like I said, man, everything starts with prayer. And you have to know the true names of the Father, Yahweh, and the name of his son, Yahushai. And this is mainly for, this is for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because the Lord is about to wreak havoc on this planet, man, on behalf of his you know, the apple of his eye, which are the children of Israel, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. And Jacob's trouble is about to come down the pipe real strong, so people are about to be out here wigging the fuck out. I know, this dude, shit, I ain't talked to this guy in a minute. He tried to call me yesterday. I ain't even answered the phone. But he called me again this morning earlier. I'm like, shit, let me see what's popping with him. Just in case, whatever. And he calling me, talking about shotguns sales at some sporting goods store. He like, yeah, man, they got these shotguns. I'm kind of, just, barely out of my sleep, man. Well, he woke me up, actually. Yeah, man, they got a sale on these shotguns, man, at such and such. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? But this was his mind, because he was asking me, you got your, this thing? I'm like, man, so I kicked it with him for a high. So I'm like, okay, bet, all right, just kind of playing it off. But, that was what was on his mind early this morning about some, yeah, man, I called you yesterday. But he had to make sure that he was going to call me back to really let me know, but hey, who knows? That might have been the spirit. Because I was thinking about grabbing me one anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because, here in this particular state, I mean, you can, really all you need is just regular state ID, man. You walk right out of the store with that shit, man. Kind of like long gun in a sense, but, that ain't been something that's been on my mind like that, you know what I'm saying? But, I did at one point, though, I ain't gonna front, I did think about, getting one for the crib, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, they don't cost that much. They're, it's the ammo don't cost that much, you know what I'm saying? And then just as a man, you know what I'm saying? It's not like someone would be running the streets with or walking around, that bitch over my shoulder. But, in these days and times, it would be wise to have something like that in your home. But you have to realize that it's all about the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai as to whether or not you're going to be safe. The Lord is the one that keeps safe, man. Don't ever get to thinking that, you bundling up on canned goods, you bundling up on damn ramen noodles. I got waters, I got this, I got that, and I'm going to be good when shit go down. No, you can't be thinking like that. Because you can be out and about, full-fledged, across town, or out of town, for that matter. When shit hits the fans, you may not never even make it back to your house. That's why some of the brothers say, keep a bug-out bag in your car. You might keep you a couple of canned goods in the back of your car, backpack, with some survival shit in it, flashlights, some matches, a lighter or something, damn candles, whatever the fuck, some little lightweight, little survival pack, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, because these things are about to get real nasty out here. What else can we get? I mean, really, that it was that second address that just kind of came to mind, man. Men invading one another, and if somebody want to get you, man, they can get you. And people, they do reconnaissance, man. They slick with it these days, man. They'll sit back, watch your every move, peep your schedule, and know your damn schedule better than you do. Waiting on your ass to pull up, waiting on you to take off, waiting on your ass lurking somewhere. So that's why, best to be circumspect. I know people have cameras. I don't really like to deal with a lot of that ring shit, and I would prefer not to give the man a heads up on detecting me. You know what I'm saying? Because they can look into your cameras and check out anything, but they can do that, from your, whatever device, man, these days, man. But yeah, who knows, man? I know all my neighbors, everybody around me got a fucking camera anyway, so it's like I'm being watched from every house anyhow. I don't have, no shit like that on my shit like that. I'm not too big on that. Because them definitely, they can, again, we know that through these devices and stuff, they can get what they want anyway. But to overall just have them just watching you, somebody hacking into your damn system. Nah. Anyway, though. Because see, like, even with this woman right here, even if she had, say she had the Ring doorbell alerts or whatever the alerts, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been nothing for her to do to stop these men from getting into that house. That shit not gonna matter. Now, she had a shotgun or something like that, and that's why I was kind of mentioning the shotgun, because I did see this guy. I guess he was a trained professional as far as like, guns and things of that nature, and what would be the best thing to use if there was a break-in. And he was trying to, he had an illustration of, he was at a shooting range type of deal, showing you, I think he had like a 9mm or something like that he was letting off. But, you might miss with that motherfucker. But, that shotgun got that spread. That shotgun, and it's up close and personal, too. It's kind of like it's a gun to have as far as like short range. You know what I'm saying? If somebody is within 5 feet of your ass, 10 feet of you, that shotgun, you can really hit a motherfucker. Even if you just hit him, if he try and dodge it and you hit him just a little bit, you're gonna get him some. But with a regular pistol, you let off, you can get him, but you might miss, you know what I'm saying, here or there. They lunging towards you, type of deal. But anyway, that's just me speaking about, as a man. Hey, get what you want, get what you need, but just know that it's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. He's in control of who lives and who dies, man. And actually, not sure if I guess they, once they do the autopsy, they will be able to know whether or not she was alive when the car was actually inflamed, or if she was already, deceased or whatever. But this is Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So one of the spirits of vengeance that was created for wrath, for the Lord's to appease the Lord's wrath, was fire. And that's a bad way to go out. So lucky this dude, man. He be walking, drinking, talking to himself. Boy, be going hard as hell too. He walked the block all day talking shit. Anyway, laughing to himself. Yeah, Jake threw, man. But anyway, one of those spirits of vengeance is fire. Verse 30, it says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. See? And a lot of women, man, I'm telling you, boy, wicked to the core. Wicked to the core, man. Verse 31, this is the part that, you should really take heed to. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So these spirits, they're constantly ready. They constantly on, they on standby, ready to go. Go get him. I want him done this way. I want her done this way. I want this done this way. Leave that one, that one right there wounded. I don't want him out of there, but I want him fucked up in this way. You know what I'm saying? Because what the scriptures talks about, how the Lord, this is Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See? It wasn't nothing she would have been able to do anyway, because that was the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. He sent those spirits of vengeance to go and, grab her ass up. But, for them to beat the shit out of the 8-year-old with the bat, like, what was the purpose of that, and not really doing nothing to the 15-year-old? And see, that's just me speaking as a man when I say maybe the husband set all that shit up, found out that she had been cheating on his ass and had a DNA test or some shit done, and found out that the 8-year-old baby, the 8-year-old son wasn't his. What about that? You just never know, man. The shit that goes through people's minds, and yeah, the Lord, man, he's cold with the setups, man. Cold with the setups. So I don't want to keep, going any further really like that. I just wanted to, stress a few points. Hey, we're coming into some days where overall we're just going to need the Lord. I mean, it's nothing we can do without him. You're going to need prayer and mercy and that spirit of endurance from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for the things that's to come to pass in this planet, man. Because things are about to get real bad, bro. And a lot of niggas gonna get fucked up too, trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. It's gonna come a point where you're going to have to be like, nah, bitch, you on your own. It just is what it is, man. I mean, that may sound harsh, but it just is what it is, man. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying with that. Kwame Allah and a Bible ball.